Alright, what is up everybody? It's Lids and we are back for some more Pyre Community Rite Nite, and in case you missed it, that was the announcement at the end of the previous week's stream. So if you didn't catch it then, that is it. We are holding a new tournament a couple weeks from now, so if you have not yet heard or seen about it, well, now you know, but there is more information about it in the Rite Club Discord server to sign up for said tournament. It'll be, just to give you a general overview, starting off as a round robin, and then based on the results of that, we'll form a bracket, and then it'll be an elimination tournament, and we will see who becomes the champion of the Golethanian Cup. Alright, well, but without further ado, we have our normal Rite Nite action to get to today. Now, before we get going in full, just full disclosure, I was saying this in Discord earlier, but I lost my voice earlier this week, and it's not really fully back yet. So for that reason, this is probably going to be a shorter stream today, because I'm not sure how long I can last for, and probably going to be quieter, and also not talking quite as much, so if you're wondering what's up, that is why. But let's give it a shot here. So let's head on into versus mode and get ourselves going. Time to get destroyed in the tournament. And yes, if you are interested in getting more involved in all of this stuff, then you can, of course, join the Rite Club Discord server. That's where we'll be doing most of our coordination today and playing with each other, of course, and Steam Remote Play, because we are doing some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre. And that is the link to make it happen. The Discord one is my own personal Discord, whereas the Rite Club is for Rite Club specific, or Pyre and multiplayer Pyre specifically. Let me jump into Discord. Yeah, why don't I do that? Thank you for reminding me. Let me do that real quick, and also let me just close that YouTube video just in case that slows stuff down. But yeah, let me hop on in. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I joined the Discord chat group and I'm like, hold on, you guys are saying I'm not in there. There's like no one in there. Just Phaler and me. Getting lonely in here. Well, anyways, we're looking to get ourselves started today. Who would like to participate in the first rite of the day? There was someone else just hopping in there. Who was that?
It's Urmi, making me happy.
Oh. Alright, well, I think we have several people today who we've had on a few occasions, but I know we have some people who are a little bit time constrained. So, of course, we want to try to get as many people in as we can today as possible, but for those of you who are only available for the first bit, then I think we should probably try to make our best effort to get you in early, so we give you the chance to play. Yeah, like Chewing Dragon, I think is pretty far ahead in terms of time zones. Arumi oftentimes prefers to go early. Other people who are further ahead in terms of time zones, generally speaking, probably a good rule of thumb, try to get them in as early as possible, and then as the day goes on, we kind of make our way westward, one time zone at a time, perhaps. Alright, so yeah, Chewing Dragon, if you're available, why don't we get you in now for that reason? And then Arumi may be our second person, or if there's anyone else who wants to get us started off, then we can get them in as well. Let me... Yeah, it does sound like Arumi's been having quite a struggle with that computer as of late. I can imagine, like, a detailed blog in which every day Arumi is updating us on what the latest is in in that war. Ruby's like, please, please, I need it. Yeah, so Chewing Dragon, are you available to get in immediately? Should I send you an invite? Okay, let me send said invite to Chewing Dragon then. I may need to get, yeah, I do need to get Team Friends up and running. Give me just a second here. Okay, Chewing Dragon. Invite sent. That should mean you are player 1, and then Chewing Dragon, remind me, which team would you like to be? Dissidents, okay. And we'll get Urumi in for the other person. We'll have Urumi on Essence. Okay. Poor thing. Alright, let me send that invite to Urumi then. And, well, Artemis Fowl starting things off as well with perhaps the song we might have expected to see. With a fancy little bit of poetry as well. Okay, okay. Nice rhymes indeed. Oh, and we'll go back to our default arenas. And so, chat, of course, you are welcome to give us any of a number of requests, as Artemis Fowl has shown us right here. You can do songs, but also things like exiles, masteries, talismans, arenas. All that stuff is fair game. Okay. This is looking good there. And yeah, Chewing Dragon and Urumi, are you both on controller? Should be fine if you're on player 2, Urumi. I was assuming that was probably going to be the case, so you're all set on my end. Alright, let's get going then.
The dissidents shall take on the essence. Welcome.
Okay, so no requests in terms of exiles, masteries, or talismans. You're free to take whatever you'd like here. Although the stream... Hold on just a second here. I'm going to tab out, because for some reason it appears as though the stream has decided to freeze frame on the menu screen, which is not where these two currently are. Let me do a little bit of black magic here for just a second. And I think what I've done in the past for this, a quick little boop. Boop. And now let's see if it cooperates. Still behaving. Your controller cursor appears to be at the very top of the screen, if you're wondering where it's disappeared to. Seems like Urumi is fine. Chewing Dragon on your end. Run into any issues here? Looks like an Xbox controller? Okay. The prompts might assume you're an Xbox controller, but I think you should still be fine. Pretty sure we've had people use PlayStation controllers before, or at least don't think we've run into any issues there. I think you should be good.
Dalbert.
So Dalbert first here for Chewing Dragon.
Bertrude.
And then Plunging Crones for Rumi. Ignarius with the quick throwing talisman next.
Sandra.
Then a defensive Snadra. And then a defensive Lendl.
Messenger Imp.
And Titan Tooth on Messenger Imp to round things out. And here we go. Arumi with the orb. Hops around with the crones and makes in with the flood. And Bertrude has prayer beads, so no issues there. Rumi will be getting her back. These defensive plays here from Snadra. Passes it over back to Bertrude. And she gets shoulder smash. Snadra gets rid of one defender, gets rid of all the defenders. Dalbert is back, as is Ignarius, so now Snadra has a little more company. Not going to be as straightforward as just walking it in. Pass it over to Bertrude, and she makes it in. 30 damage this time. So Rumi off to a quick start here. And the arena, of course, will continue to grow smaller in the Glade of Blue.
I almost pity what transpired
Snadra
there.
down, but it's Bertrude who's dangerous here, until she gets shoulder smash. Dalbert. Stamina back. Hops around the defender, was charging up a throw, but he goes down. Snadra. Messenger in. Back to Snadra. Bertrude, she's been the dangerous one, the scorer, thus far for Rumi. She goes down here.
That was the last of them.
And that gets rid of all of Rumi's characters here. Snadra back, though, to defend. Chewing Dragon.
Dalbert vanished.
Lendl was at the Pyre, but forgot the orb. He's not dangerous without it, of course. Now it's Dalbert's turn. He gets stopped and banished. Bertrude. She gets stopped. Narius knocks back even his teammates. Dalbert. Lendl. Back to Dalbert. Out of stamina, retreats. Just barely avoids the Snadra cast. Flies around the Pyre, but gets intercepted on the throw. Snadra retreats to Bertrude. He gets shoulder smashed out of existence. And Messenger Imp is ready to explode and does so on Ignarius. And the reinforcements are back for Rumi. The Chewing Dragon might have found a little bit of a hole there and manages to sneak in a 15 damage throw. Bertrude down. And huge casts here from Snadra. She goes down. Dalbert goes down as well. Harumi just biding some time, maybe waiting to get someone like Bertrude back, more of a natural scorer. Esturant banishes one, banishes everyone at that. Dalbert's back quickly. Snadra instead goes for a more defensive approach here. Tries to bait in Chewing Dragon into getting banished. Goes for the Bertrude attack this time, but she gets stopped. Attempt number 2. She makes it in. And that drops Chewing Dragon down to just 15, and that means just about anything would take Chewing Dragon out here. But it's not going to be Bertrude, at least not this time. Snadra. She throws, but it gets intercepted. Oh, and Igdarius was very close to the opposing Pyre there, but he does go down. Bertrude, and she finishes it.
The essence prevail.
GG.
It was a glorious performance, I must say. The ceremony is complete.
All right. Let's head back to versus mode and chat. Let us know if there's anything you want to see for the next Rite. And we will undo Thrashback, unless, of course, you want to fork over the cash to make it happen again. I suppose there's still, what, like a 1 in 12 chance that it'll randomly pop up or something like that. Never to return Dissidents. Oh, okay. The rare never to return for a non-liberation Rite. I suppose we'll let it happen this time around. So rare that it does happen that I suppose why not? So that means we'll turn off the in-game music here and we'll actually go over to Tariq Bot because we actually don't have access to Never to Return directly in the game, at least not in versus mode. Of course, it's a Pyre song. But let us summon Tariq Bot here. Okay. As for whether Tariq Bot picked up that was supposed to be the Dissidents version or not, we are about to find out, but we shall see. Alright. Anything else that we'd like for the next one? What's up, Cam? How's it going? Yep, it's the right one. We got it. Tariq Bot's on the right page. Let's do it. Oh, Faither says Paul Solium. All right, hold on. We can make that happen right as I press the start button. We'll make it happen. Don't worry. No, I know I was saying this was going to be a shorter Rite Nite because my voice is maybe not at 100% here. Definitely not at 100% here. But this is not the final Rite of the night. Not this time, at least. Chewing Dragon is choosing skills and says, "Get good."
Who shall conduct the rites?
What? Alright, Chewing Dragon, just as a reminder, when it comes to rites in which you are participating, no requests for things that just clearly make it so that you have an advantage, because that's not so fair for your opponent. Is that just a general comment on your own play? I need myself to get good. I suppose so. Personal inspiration. It's one way to make it happen, I suppose. Going for Prayer Beads Almer. Arumi also going prayer beads, but for him it will be with Tamitha. And we saw Chewing Dragon, I believe it was lead off with Dalbert last time round. This time, taking him in the second slot, it would appear. And going for a quicker stamina recovery. You don't see it too often, but on a big arena such as Fall Solium, it could make sense. Gonna use a lot of stamina sprinting across this arena. And looking like a worm here from Arumi. Namely Deluge.
It's a deluge.
Ooh, doubling down on the curse, it looks like. With extra quickness, no less.
Messenger Imp.
Then finally Messenger Imp, and here we go. Second match between these two. Early Tamitha banishment here. Or Tamitha doing the banishing, I should say. Now it's up to the Curse to get the job done here. Dalbert avoids a couple banishments, but he gets intercepted. Tamitha for Arumi. Does the heart put? No. No! Enough of the crazy Flappy Birdness. None of that. Well, Tamitha has it again. Back and forth with... No, Arumi... Okay, now Arumi's just messing with me. He knows. He knows. Well, it's Parker who scores here for 15. Making this one close again. Arumi technically holding on to a 5-point lead. Tamitha. Look at that! She's able to score even without the crazy Flappy Bird madness. Thankfully. Palmer waits for the defender to come. Well, maybe waited a little too long there because he goes down. Tamitha back at it. Oh no.
Absolution.
She missed the mark there, but just a little bit off target. We'll give her the 20 damage nonetheless. Third time's the charm there for Almer's cast.
The orb is taken.
Messenger Imp takes it. Gives it up to Tamitha, who appears to be Arumi's preferred scorer here, but she's blocked this time. And oh, Almer was ready to throw that one in. It's a quick 20 damage there from Chewing Dragon, but still lead to Arumi. Almer down. Deluge with the orb. He goes down. Dalbert versus Tamitha. Tamitha saw it coming. Tamitha leaps over one defender and pushes the other one. And she makes it into the Pyre, dropping Chewing Dragon down to just 20 Pyre life. One more of those and Chewing Dragon is done for. However, that is of course with specifically Tamitha. Arumi's other characters can only deal 15 damage. I don't believe Arumi took the extra damage on the Imp. May have taken Siege Chance on Deluge, meaning that if he banishes someone, then he can deal more damage for a short period of time. But it does require, of course, that he does banish. So we would have seen the word Siege Chance show up there, and I don't think we saw that, so I think that it is only Tamitha who can get the job done here, and that she does.
The essence prevails. They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, let us head back then.
Until the next rite.
Okay, and let us reset what we have here, both from an arena standpoint and from a song standpoint, but let us know if there's anything else we want to see for the next rite. And say adios to Tariq, at least for now. And aloha to the in-game music once more.
From the plane.
I'm not a fan of the flapping harps. It's a little too silly for me. So let us know if there's anything we want to see specifically for this next rite. Otherwise, we'll just have these two pick whatever they'd like. Alright, let us commence then. Bring on the action.
The dissidents versus the essence.
So we're in the Book of Rites, so we're going from
Welcome.
one of the largest arenas in the Fall of Solium to probably the
Who shall
smallest.
conduct the rites?
So it'll be an interesting change of scenery in that regard. So at least on Chewing Dragon's side, doesn't seem like that changes much from a setup standpoint. Still going with Homer on the quick throwing talisman. We saw Arumi lean very heavily on plunging Bertrude in the first match between these two. He was the primary, if not possibly even the only scorer Arumi had in that match. Ooh, goes for a throwing talisman this time rather than the prayer beads, so a little bit different in that way. So expect to see her, well, to be throwing. And remember, those crone throws are unblockable. Goes with a defensive headwind here with Goals Bracer for the big power cast. And Arumi, for a second there, it looked like might have been thinking the same thing. Goes for the additional banishment time on Ignarius. Ooh. This is potentially a second Nomad here. Coming from Chewing Dragon, which is a little bit unusual. Of course, no longer has access to Goals Bracer, the big defensive talisman. Instead, goes for the Stamina Recovery. Arumi. Thinking Sap here. In terms of talismans, could stun with Titan Tooth. But it looks like he's going for the Lanthorn, which means that every time Manly banishes someone, he'll bring someone back to his team. And here we go.
There.
Darius down. Here is Manly. Probably not the character that Arumi wants to be relying on offensively, so not a happy sight to see him by himself like that, but Bertrude's back just in time. And there's that unblockable throw. So if she gets it off, there's not anything you can do to stop it, and as he took the quick throwing talisman, it is very difficult to stop her. Unless, of course, you banish her before she gets within throwing range, which is, for the most part, what you need to do, and Chewing Dragon does so that time. Palmer. One side, then the other. Intercepted, though. Narius. Looking to clear the way a little bit. But, oh, for a second there, it looked like he might have had enough room to make it all the way into the Pyre.
Big on Bertrude.
Bertrude down, and once again, Arumi finds himself with only Manly. And Chewing Dragon just trying to find the angle for the throw, and pulls one off there for 20 damage.
Oh,
Bertrude trying to make moves, banishes two, but it's Almer with the orb here. That is probably the strongest offensive character that Chewing Dragon has here, but there's that unblockable throw, and plenty of time to get it off for Rumi. Bertrude again, well, she doesn't have that much range, but she can banish several people like that with her big casts. Zadra, ooh, is not quick enough to avoid the banishment there. So that means Arumi can get this off. Oh, but he was too quick. Didn't take the time to aim it. And Chewing Dragon taunts. Oh, man. Bold strategy, Cotton. Almer. Again, playing hopscotch here until he finds the right angle and does get one here. Enough space to get the 20 damage throw off.
now to the flame.
Bertrude goes down. Almer down. And this is one of the issues with the team that Chewing Dragon has set up here is two strong defensive characters in the Nomads. They aren't that good offensively. They don't have the speed or the jumping capability that Almer has, don't have the throwing speed or range. So, not to say it's impossible to score with them, but it is difficult without any additional setup. And so, when Almer goes down, not much remaining for Chewing Dragon to do offensively, and Ignarius plunges here, dropping Chewing Dragon down to just 15 Pyre life. There you see the strength defensively of the Nomads, and a cursed black magic jump there from Almer, spinning around in a circle. Here is Almer, and oh, missed a target there. Looked like he might have had enough space to make that one into the Pyre, but just missed. Throw is unblockable, and it has enough damage to finish the job.
The essence prevailed. They proved
Arumi
superior
takes it.
to their adversaries. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Alright. Let us head on back.
Until the next rite.
Arumi's like, you cannot stop me with those throwing crones. They are too good. Careful what you say there, Arumi. You might just challenge chat. They might say, hold on, alright then, not sure we want to give you those crones in that case. Up to them, of course. Let us know if there is anything, chat, that you want to see for this next rite. Meta is cringe, embrace the non-meta builds. Baylor wants us to be at the Spring of Jomir. Arumi is going to play something wacky. Alright, we'll see about that. Chewing Dragon will as well. Let's see what it's all about. The Essence song! Right as I was pressing the start button. We can go back. We can go back. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be quick. Is that a sign of what is to come? I got you, Rumi. Don't worry. Don't worry.
The dissidents shall confront the essence.
Oh no. I know what Arumi's doing.
Who shall conduct?
I know what Arumi's doing. And I already hate you for it. Yup. Lots of flip-flapping birds, I'd have to imagine. I don't think it's going to be Speedy Manly, at least not now. Not from Arumi. Arumi is just going to do everything he can to annoy me with the flip-flapping harps. Because he knows that I don't like it. As soon as you said I'm gonna really like it, I was like, yep, that's gotta be it. Alright, Chewing Dragon, no pressure, but you need to win this one. So Chewing Dragon, I believe, has thrown on one, if not a couple of Cursed Talismans. Might be going for 100% Cursed Talisman team here. Which can be a little tricky to pull off. Not to say it can't be done. There are some exiles that actually can work quite well with it. Chewing Dragon's like, what? What is this winning of which you speak? Never heard of it. That's not what we're here to do. And there you see it, 100% Cursed Talismans from Chewing Dragon. Voluntarily, mind you. Voluntarily. All Curs as well. And of course, all Harps, as expected from Arumi. Titan Tooth means he can stun people that he flies into, with Saxiana there. Here we go. Well, of all the Cursed Talismans to take on your first exile, Black Hoop was maybe not the best one, because that does mean that Barker can run up all he'd like. He's not picking up that orb. He's still not picking up that orb, no matter how many times he tries. No matter how many times he tries. Does mean that if Chewing Dragon would like to pick up the orb, he needs to get it with someone else. That is the downside of the Cursed Talisman that he has on Barker. But he is insisting on trying to score with Barker. And then Rookie can't cast. Oh dear. Chewing Dragon just finding himself in a difficult situation in which every time he wants to make offensive moves, he finds himself with the character who can't pick up the orb. Every time he wants to do defensive moves, he finds himself with the character who can't cast. That is the danger of those Cursed Talismans.
Righteous fire. No more than a lick of flame remains.
And Tamitha here? No, she gets stopped. That could have been game. Although she hasn't been stopped entirely just yet. Now she's banished.
The orb is up.
Tamitha, she goes down. Dalbert can pick up the orb. This is Chewing Dragon's opportunity here. But Dalbert goes down. Which harp will it be? Will be Tamitha, but Chewing Dragon finds himself with a Cur that can't cast. So Tamitha makes it in.
Accomplished effortlessly,
Flat.
I might add.
How dare you?
The rite is done.
GG.
Programa, obrigada.
Until the stars align.
Chewing Dragon may have at least gotten inspiration from that. Yeah, he'll get bonus experience in his next rite. Don't worry. No more flippity flappities. I'm holding you to that. Chewing Dragon's like, thank goodness. Alright, well, let us know if there's anything else we want for this next rite. If not, then I'll just reset us to our usual defaults here. Oh no. Is there something worse? We shall see if either of these two have anything schemed up. Withdrawn song. Okay, sure. Green Dragon does want to do something weird. Alright, last call for any requests here. Arumi also planning on doing something wacky. Okay, so maybe we just let them do their thing. They have something planned. As for what it's gonna be, who knows? Oh, Island! Ah! I saw it as soon as I pressed the go button. But we can do it. We can do it. No worries. I got you. I got you. We're going for chaos. I think Isla Kalimur is probably a pretty good fit. In my defense, there is a delay between what I'm seeing, or what is happening in-game, and what you're seeing on screen. So in that about 4-second time span, is usually when I press the go button, and then as soon as I press that, someone says, wait, no, one more thing. And that's partially why, when I say last chance, I'm usually waiting for a little bit before I actually press the go button, because there is that delay. Uh-oh, it's the same thing as Swiftly Flap? Well, now Chewing Dragon is picking a harp. Oh, what? Okay, I saw you going down the right side of the crone tree, and I thought I knew what you were going to do for a second there, but then you didn't take the ability I thought you were going to take, so now I have no idea what Arumi's going for. And for a second I thought that Chewing Dragon was going to do the same thing that Arumi was just doing, after taking the harp in the first spot, and was perhaps expecting to see 2 additional harps, but doesn't look like it, based on how Chewing Dragon is seemingly setting up Almer instead, though he goes for the legendary Savage Talisman, which tends to be the least common and I think generally considered the weakest of the legendary talismans. Bounces casts off of various objects in the arena. Is unpredictable, chaotic, but hard to make it work because you just don't really know what's going to happen. But I suppose with a bunch of imps running around in the arena, maybe it's just enough chaos to work. We'll have to see. Okay, quick throwing stowaway, no. Vanishing throws on the stowaway. So it does look like Chewing Dragon is going for a series of interesting banishment styles. And it looks like Arumi is going for 100% crones here. But does not appear to have taken the gimmick that you can get when you have 100% crones, at least not this time. Okay. He's still basically doing the same thing he was doing before with the flip-flap and harps, just the slithering crones this time. Maybe not as effective, but perhaps just as weird to witness. Unsettling. Oh my god, indeed.
No sign of the dissidents for now.
Not sure there's any real reason to do it, other than drive us insane.
Gertrude's aim was true.
But hey, it works this time. Oh, and I mean, Gertrude avoided the cast there, so I suppose it works, at least that time. Then, of course, the stowaway pick out the next crone. Almer with enough time to throw this one in.
From afar into the Pyre's flame.
I feel like this is the Radiomedic summoning call.
Now that is how you snuff flame.
Gertrude makes it in for 30 damage here.
Good.
Gertrude, and she finishes it. It worked.
The essence prevailed. Their adversaries proved no match for them.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Indeed. Super Slither.
Until the stars align.
Was there something in particular that you two still wanted to make happen? More chaotic combos? Why can't I use my internet money? You can use it on your own rights, the ones you're participating in, just as long as you're affecting you and Arumi the same way. You know, basically it's just to make sure that you aren't deliberately making it so that you automatically win and your opponent automatically loses, because then that takes all the fun out of it. If, you know, just bring someone in and they're like, okay, now I'm going to spend points to activate all Titan Stars against my opponent, give them all saps, and no talismans and no masteries. Like, okay, well, congratulations. Yes, you're probably going to win the right, but what have you achieved? Ah, Chewing Dragon says, hold on, now it's your turn. Your turn to go all Curse Talismans on the Curse. Narumi says, alright, I'll do it voluntarily. So let us see, in that case, how this all matches up. Oh, in fact, 2 against 2? Or, well, both people doing that same thing? On the boat, no less.
Welcome.
Not the boat.
Who shall conduct the rites?
You asked for chaos. You got it. You wanted a meme. Got it. So I think the key here is just to not take the Black Hoof on the first character, or at least the character who's going to be running toward the orb the most often, which is technically not always the first character on the boat. But reason for that being, well, if you sprint up and you can't pick up the orb, then there's not much purpose in sprinting toward the orb to begin with. Because basically, whichever character does take that Black Hoof is more or less restricted to just playing a defensive role and can't do much of anything offensively.
Dalbert. Dalbert.
Alright, so Moon Dragon is all locked in. And it seems that the two of them stuck true to their word. All Curse Talismans, all Curse. Narumi with Rookie here plunges for a quick 20. Dalbert this time. He makes it in as well. Wait a second. How did he have 20 damage? He has Glory Dive. You said all left side. Glory Dive is on the right side. I mean, you're fine. I'm just saying. Clearly, you took something on the right side of the tree. It was a gentleman's agreement. It wasn't an official request, but perhaps, maybe weren't quite as true to your word as might have led us to believe. You're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. Although that is pretty funny, watching the orb bounce over Barker's head like that.
Yes. Exactly by the book.
15 damage plunge there from Chewing Dragon's Rookie. And of course, no prayer beads here because they are on 100% Curse Talismans. That means that plunging is dangerous. You will not get your curve back. So throw is definitely preferable. Narumi makes it in with Dalbert. But see, that's a situation you want to try to avoid, is running forward with your cur that has the Black Hoof, or trying to pass it to your cur with the Black Hoof, and play offensively with that cur, because, well, otherwise we're going to have a lot of ring around Rosie and not a lot of picking up the orb. Oh, and Narumi has come back as a Howler, which means that he does not have an aura, and therefore cannot defend with that Howler, which gave Chewing Dragon time to throw that one in. Dalbert, locked. Takes out the defender, though. Set number 2. Makes it in. That drops Chewing Dragon down to just 15 Pyre life, so one more of those and it will be game over for Chewing Dragon. And Rookie does it. That's game. Narumi takes it.
Adversaries stood no chance.
As for whether it was because Arumi took Glory Dive on Rookie, I leave that up to you.
Until the next rite.
All right, and how are you two, Arumi and True Dragon, doing? Because I think, given how I'm kind of expecting for us to have a shorter stream today, we might want to switch around our players a little bit quicker than we would otherwise, just to get other people the chance to play today and not have the chance of just having, you know, a couple pairs of people match up and then have to call it a night. I hope you're okay. I guess I should check, though, in chat and or Discord. Is there anyone who is interested in hopping in next? Thanks for reminding you you have responsibilities. You're welcome? Yeah, Nor, if you're up for it, now'd be a good time to get you in. Sounds like Chewing Dragon is saying that he needs to go. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Chewing Dragon. Happy to have you. See you later. Alright, so I'll get Anor in. Is there anyone else who'd like to hop in as well, or should we keep Arumi as the second person? I can boot you. Don't worry. I can give you the boot. You have been booted. Let me send Anor an invite. And then, if there's anyone else who'd like to jump in now, let us know. If not, then we'll just have Arumi stick around. Sounded like he was saying that's fine on his end. You can go either way. Nor, let me set you up on stream here real quick. Remind me, Nor, your preferred team, is it the Nightwings, did you say? Who would you like to play as? Nightwings? Okay, perfect. Nightwings it shall be. Aww. Alright, I'm not seeing any immediate volunteers here, so it looks like we'll just keep Arumi in as player 2 then. Yeah, and Arumi is on controller, so no problems making you keyboard and mouse. Let's just take a quick check at the controls just to make sure that they are to your liking. Does this look correct to you? Because I know we were messing around, or oftentimes we're messing around a bit on the controls there, and sometimes they change around. So yeah, feel free to switch over to WASD if you prefer those. Or if this is fine, then we can of course just keep this. Just wanted to double check, what with this being our first keyboard mouse player of the day. Wanted to confirm that this is the controls that we are expecting to see and not get any last minute surprises. All good? Okay. Great. Then let us head on back over to versus mode. Alright, and I suppose, chat, you could of course give any requests here for this one, or you could say, nah, let's give Anor a little bit of time to warm up before we start throwing some crazy requests at these two. Arumi's had plenty of time, I suppose. Arumi was, of course, playing against Chewing Dragon, but Anor, at least, let's give her a chance to get used to things. What? You should be... Oh, I suppose I am saying. This time around. Next time, True Dragon. Then, spend all the internet monies you'd like. I think True Dragon wanted to spend money on rites in which he was participating. Then I said, well, I mean, you can, but only if it affects you and Arumi equally. And then now I'm saying, well, let's give the Nord some time to warm up before we start making any requests. And so True Dragon's like, no, I want to spend my internet monies.
Who shall conduct the rites?
But yeah, no requests for this one, so feel free to take whatever you'd like here. And then Nor is starting with Hamatha. Doing my team. Which team might you be referring to? I can think of a few. Based on the first character that you are taking, I think I know which team you're referring to. I will have you know, Deluge is not the first worm to go out here. That is also the wrong talisman. Ugh, I'm disgusted. Yeah, that could have potentially been a good reason to have Anor go against True Dragon, as I'm pretty sure you might have had more similar pings in that case, whereas Harumi probably will have considerably less than you, but let us know, of course, if it looks like it's unplayable, then we can see what we can do about that. Yeah, True Dragon, what is your ping, out of curiosity, when you're playing? Do you know? So I'm assuming you're on the higher end, but I could be wrong. Oh, really? Wow. No, much better than I thought. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, so May with, I believe that was Prayer Beads there, so she'll be the plunger, presumably, for Anor. A few situations, but they're rare. Okay, well, that's good to hear. In that case, as for who would probably have the most similar lag to Anor, well, perhaps the person whose name is named after lag. Do we have both people controlling the same team right now? Because it does appear as though that may be the case. Both controlling the same people? Okay. Arumi, do you mind unplugging and replugging your controller? And we'll see if that fixes things to start things off. That's usually our first potential solution. Oh, I think I just saw it. Yeah, now Arumi's good to go. Okay. I'll give you guys a countdown then. 3, 2, 1, resume. Go ahead. Go. I like how Nor, I believe, snuck in a little taunt there. Like, alright, I'm gonna take this opportunity while we're on this countdown here. Nor with some good keep away here. Hamatha goes down though. I mean, how could you possibly stop a team of 100% worms, though, right? They're objectively the best team in the game, obviously, so Arumi clearly will be running away with this one here. Deluge, Gilman, Lady River. Oh, and well-placed sapling there. Oh, and Deluge just a little bit short of making it into the Pyre there. Gilman, that throw is unblockable, but it has very limited range, and not enough on that occasion to make it all the way into the Pyre. And Or has options here, in terms of attacking with either the Stowaway or with Hamatha, although Rumi intercepted the throw, and then quickly countered for a 15 damage plunge here. Ooh, just missed the mark on that plunge as well. It's Hamatha off to the races. And that throw is intercepted. Lady River, once again, just a little bit short. Couldn't quite decide if she wanted to jump or throw. I mean, you can actually throw in the middle of your jumps with the worms, but just a little short on both ends. This time around, though, does make it in with Lady River. And did correctly give Lady River Prayer Beads. That is the correct worm on which to give that talisman. So 1/3 of the team, at least, is set up properly here. And she makes it in again. So 15 more damage, and means that Arumi is keeping all of his worms here. Nora here with Pamitha. Out of the stowaway. Stowaway leaps over one defender. And charges up a throw, but that gets intercepted. Lady River back at it.
Glorious.
She can't be stopped.
A deftly thwarted drive.
Pamitha. A hard push, nearly enough to make her in, get her into the Pyre there, but did get banished this time around.
That one almost
Wolfred to defend that one. Stowaway down. Wolfred with the orb here, but this is probably not the person that Anor particularly wants to be attacking with. Ametha goes down on her attempt. Wolfred, another successful defensive play there. Stowaway with a fancy backflip banish, it looked like. Don't see those too often from Savages, more so the Snadra variety of banishments. This time combines the throw with the jump, and again, just a little bit short. Stowaway down. Ametha banishes one, banishes two. Ooh, and Rumi avoids getting all of his worms banished there. Back at it, but, well, those worms will keep on coming. That is largely their thing. If everyone goes down, one of the worms will come back with infinite stamina. This has happened several occasions in a row here for Rumi, and continues to happen. Just means that Anor is never going to fully get the pressure off here. There's always going to be a worm sprinting after her.
Well, now that was exciting.
Ametha nearly makes it in on this occasion, but she gets stopped. Lady River goes down. Stowaway goes down. Ametha takes out one, takes out two. Still has the orb here. And she makes it in for 20 damage plunge. Now, she did not have prayer beat, so she's not coming back. I believe that is the Stowaway who has it. Here is the Stowaway. And that throw, oh, for a second there, looked like that was going to make it in, but that got intercepted. Lady River. Oh, and nifty. There it is. The jump plus throw. Great effect there, making it in for not full damage, just 8 rather than the full 15, but whittling away at the Pyre life here. Does, however, mean that Nor now has everyone back, including Pamitha here. Stowaway. Pamitha, she makes it in. Once again, though, does mean that Anor will be down one character, but it is 20 damage. So, of course, something to be said for that. Lady River. Just a little shy. Stowaway. She goes down. Wolfred banishes one and bunkers down here. Gilman. The throw is just a little bit wide. Stowaway. Within throwing range here, but intercepted. Lady River can't quite pull it off. Stowaway avoids getting banished. Takes the orb. Stamina back. Just waiting for the right opportunity here. This might be it. And that one makes it in. Full 20 damage. And throw, of course, means no one banished here, so Anor still at full strength. And suddenly, this is an awfully close match here. A 2-score game for Anor, assuming that it would be either Pamitha or the Stowaway to make it in on a full damage play, whereas for Rumi, depending on who it is, in fact, I think that all of the worms have just 15 damage here. So now it is actually a 2-score game for either person, despite Anor having lower Pyre life, just because Arumi has less damage on all of his characters. Stowaway, she does have prayer beads, so she will come back, and now it's a 1-score game. Oh no, take it back. Got some leech from the Stowaway, it looked like. But now after that quick score there from Arumi, once again, 1 score would do it for either person, and Arumi finishes a very close match off. GG.
A victory so narrowly achieved, and thus more glorious.
Glorious
The
one indeed.
ceremony is complete.
Alright. Let us head back to versus mode, and chat, let us know if there's anything you want for the next Rite.
Until the next Rite.
But I mean, like I was saying, I mean, that was an all-worms team, so of course they were going to win, so, you know, we knew that was going to happen, right? Yeah, you can jump, and then mid-jump, you can throw, and that will actually oftentimes give you a little bit of an extra boost. It's almost like a second jump of sorts. I mean, the jump and the throw are still really short range, so it's tough to pull it off. But if you can, it's basically unblockable, because that throw is unblockable. Secret worm strats. Anything else, or do we just have these two take whatever they'd like to take going into the next rite? Not seeing anything, so let's do it. Arumi says he's out of wacky ideas, so yeah, if anyone wants to swap in, Arumi is volunteering. But maybe we'll let that one sit for a bit. If anyone wants to swap in for the next one, you're welcome to do so. I mean, if you need to leave Arumi, then of course let us know, and we'll. If worst comes to worst, I can fill in if necessary. But we'd like to get in as many people as possible, myself not included. I don't count for that.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Alright, well, still Arumi here, at least for now. Arumi says he's out of crazy ideas, so maybe that means he'll be back to, what, more of the crones seem to generally be his preferred team? Oh, hold on. We're on the boat, which does mean crazy boat magic incoming. And perhaps that was the reason why we saw Arumi go with Orlek here, although we'll have to see. That wasn't necessarily what I would say is the preferred Orlek setup when it comes to maximizing the Orlek-ness. But we shall see what becomes of that. And now it's Anor going with the crones. Maybe giving Arumi a bit of a taste of his own medicine here. Not my own crones. It's even Bertrude, my preferred crone. How could you, Bertrude? I trusted you. Now Pamitha on Arumi's side. Last one here for Anor. And has two relatively offensive characters in a crone and a cur. So this time going for what looks like a support nomad. Goes for the additional speed with the talisman. And last one here for Arumi. And looking like it's going to be a savage. And with that savage, thinking about taking the quick throws. Very strong offensively. So here we go. Here is Orlek. And he's pretty big. But there you actually see 10 less damage because Anor took Stubborn Flame, which means that when Anor is behind, Arumi will deal 10 less damage. And that was active at the very beginning because Arumi took additional starting Pyre life with Orlek. So limited Orlek's damage to just 15. And Anor has a little bit more Pyre life to whittle away. Arumi's starting with 135 rather than the usual 100, but deals 20 damage here. There's a little bit of boat magic there from Orlek. But of course, Arumi's still in the lead, and that does mean that still 10 less damage for just 15 total. No comment. Orlek, back at it here. He makes it in. 15 damage. Ruki beats Pamitha to the punch. Now it's Bertrude. Oh, she gets hard pushed, but she's still in there. Not anymore. Headwind. Now Ruki, back to defend. Oh, and he was maybe just barely standing inside of his pyre, so the orb did make it in rather than get intercepted there. Alright, that time there was actually no reason to do the flippity-flappity. Rumi was just like, I'm gonna do it because I can. Ooh, and Rookie just barely banished before he can make it in there. Orlek blocked, but his big aura banishes the defender. And he has the range on those jumps to make it in. 15 more damage. But because an aura has Stubborn Flame, does mean that... What was that? Did you just cast over the water, pick up the orb, and make it directly into the Pyre in one fell swoop with a harp? I don't think I've seen that one before. There's an unblockable throw from Bertrude. Nor's not done yet. Running out of time, yes. He's not going to go down without a fight. Bertrude, who was charging up that throw, but didn't get it off in time. Orlek to the rescue there, and there you see. Orlek gets a little bit of an extra boost whenever he makes it over the water there, and so he did just take flight for a little bit there, give him enough ups to make it into the Pyre, and plunge for the win.
The rite is ended.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. Or at least, not that specific use of the boat magic plus harps with the cast. So I think oftentimes people just think of the harps and they think of flying and not so much the cast, but I suppose, yeah, the cast itself does also have some potential to interact with the boat magic.
Until the stars align.
Yeah, I'm not much of a demon player myself, but when it comes to the boat, it's a little different. It's pretty fun to try to maximize how far you can jump, because sometimes crazy things can happen. Anything else we'd like to see between these two here? Or, as Rumi was saying before, if anyone would like to swap in and play against an orc here, Rumi is volunteering to swap out. Rumi says, all imps. Okay, okay. Isle of Kalamer as well for 100% imps. And Nora's like, why do you do this? What is this? What is this? Imp song? What is the imp song? If we go to Tariqbot, I think there is. There's Tizo's theme, right? I don't recall the name of it. Actually, I might. It's like Flutterfly or something like that. I think that's the name of it. So we'll break out Tariqbot and we'll make it happen. I think we've definitely done. I mean, we've done all imps Isle of Kalamer many times before. We've done Impossible as the song. That's from Transistor, and that's mostly just for pun's sake, even if it's not actually imp themed. Yeah, I don't think any of the preset songs here do much for us from an imp standpoint, because the imp triumvirate, so to speak, or at least the triumvirate that is affiliated with the imp scribe, is the Dissidents, and so it's Thrash Pack, which is not really an imp song, so to speak. It kind of has its own separate identity. Yeah, so I think we go for Tizos in that case. Let's go... I think it's called Flutterfly, but I'm not 100% sure, so we're about to find out. If Tariqbot starts spewing out some nonsense right about now, then you know what happened. We're requesting the wrong song. Let's see. Yes, this is it. Okay. Good. Okay. Oh, or Night Howlers. That's true. That would be another one that we could potentially do. Both imp themed. But Flutterfly should work. Alright. Let's make it happen. Is there a Messenger Imp song? I don't... Oh, there kind of is. I mean, it's not technically Messenger Imp's theme. But there is a song that almost always plays whenever you see Messenger Imp. That is right. I think it's more so tied to the general plot things that are happening whenever you happen to encounter Messenger Imp, because there's kind of a pattern to when you encounter Messenger Imp. So it's not technically tied to him, but I see what you're saying. And all imps. Now the question is, what do you do with an all imps team? Because they are so strong defensively, but especially when you're going against an opposing team that is 100% imps, it can be rather tricky to find a way to score. Finding any way to get some kind of offensive advantage, I think, will be the key difference maker here. And Anor goes with the additional speed on the talisman, so that might be a difference maker there. Where's Arumi? Ooh, okay. Takes the respawn, I believe. 50% chance to come back. Then there's also that question of, do you go for the additional damage? Bumping yourself up from 15 to 25, in which case that could be another offensive difference maker. Or do you focus on the portals instead, which could work if you find yourself positioning your portals in a good place to set up the score. Infinite Stamina Talisman also makes some sense. Last one here for Anor will be Raji, also taking the 60% respawn chance. But thinking about the masteries, and does go for the additional damage. Second thoughts with regard to the talisman. He does still have one mastery remaining. Throwing damage, perhaps? Ooh, Typhoon Bottle. Could be very strong defensively, means that when everyone on Anor's side is banished, Rumi will not be able to sprint, throw, or use any other abilities. Which could be just enough to slow Rumi down and give Anor time to get someone back to defend. And Arumi goes Titan Tooth for the stunning, and we'll see how it plays out here. Well, the imps trade places. But now Anor without anyone, but that Typhoon Bottle will activate, and the other imp, the Arena imp, perhaps doing some favors for Anor. Send a bit of a pick there, blocking Arumi. Arumi, slowly, waddling forward. Has the infinite stamina on this imp, so he can bide his time, fly around as much as he'd like. Oh, and Anor goes to the portal, perhaps accidentally there, because that moved her further away from the defensive positioning she was looking for, and that means Arumi has the opportunity there to score for 25. Oh, and that is absolutely the speedy imp that we saw Anor take. Izo outpacing all the defenders there, makes it in for 15 damage, and so it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that makes. The 15 versus 25 damage that some of the imps have. Rumi did score with a 25 damage imp, whereas Anor did it with a 15 damage imp. So, one time round might not make a huge difference, but if these two can make a habit of scoring with their 25 damage imps, then that will definitely make a difference long term. Raji, oh, Anor going with a two-pronged approach. Northern side loses that imp. Raji loops around, but he goes down as well, and that's all of Anor's imps here. Meaning that Typhoon Bottle does activate here. And that is a particularly strong talisman to have, especially when Anor has plunged with an imp that does not have prayer beads, because that means that Tizo's not coming back in this series, which would normally put Anor at a distinct disadvantage, but that Typhoon Bottle does cover for that weakness a fair bit. At least defensively. Offensively, still going to be a bit of a challenge, as is often the case, as we were saying, with all the imps. Messenger imp can't quite escape from Arumi's Tizo. Oh, and Arumi had a well-placed portal, snuck on through that, and that's another 25 damage imp. So Arumi off to a good start here. Here's Anor, has enough time to throw this one, and that is key. It's like we were saying. Anor was plunging in the previous go-round, and that meant that she was down in him. Not so this time, though. This is the Infinite Stamina Imp. And it's enough to make it in. 25 damage means one more of those, and Arumi will have it. Arumi had time to get a throw off, but had to cut it a little bit short, and that means that Anor is still hanging on here with 17 Pyre life. So of course, a 25 damage plunge from Arumi would do the trick, but if Arumi has any 15 damage imps, that obviously would not be enough. And if Arumi needs to do another short throw like what we saw last time round, and only partial damage, then that may mean that Anor could still hang on here. Oh, and look at that huge explosion from Anor, banishing everyone on Arumi's side, but Arumi does get someone back instantly. Oh, and defenders. Tizo, will he come back in time? He will not come back in time to stop Arumi's Tizo. But that was, I believe, the only 15 damage imp that Arumi had, and therefore, Anor is, yes, hanging on by a thread here. 2 Pyre life remaining. Enough time, though, to throw this one for 25 damage. Dropping Arumi down to 45, so this isn't over yet. Difficult, yes, but Anor could find an answer here. Ooh, this is tough. Everyone down on Anor's side. It will activate the Typhoon Bottle, slowing Arumi down, but if Arumi can find something like, say, a portal to go through, that could expedite the process considerably, but Anor sees where that portal is and was ready. Oh, and Anor gets banished there. And just barely chases down Arumi in time. Now, Arumi, perhaps, considering going through his portal, which is very close to Anor's Pyre, extremely dangerous. Anor has the orb here. Still does, in fact. The throw makes it in. Cut it ever so short there for just 14 damage, but makes it in. Keeps everyone in the field of play here. And just wheels away at Arumi's Pyre, and that's the best she can do at this stage. Just needs to be patient. Arumi with Tizo. Everyone back now. Oh, making moves here. And Anor with the last second save. And does perhaps have an additional imp helping her out there. One of the arena imps hanging out directly on top of her Pyre. When Anor is quick enough to make that one in. Dropping Arumi down to 6 Pyre life, and now it is anybody's game. Anor is down 1 imp after plunging with an imp that did not have prayer beads, so does make life a little bit difficult for her. But anything's possible here. Especially with Typhoon Bottle, making it so that Arumi cannot sprint, fly, or use any special abilities when everyone is banished on Anor's side. And Anor with 1 defender here. Can't make it past him this time round. In this case, it's likely to just be a case of who makes that big mistake. Who makes a defensive blunder that gives the opposing player the opportunity to get in a quick score, because a quick throw is all it takes here, and Anor makes it through the portal and into the Pyre for a great comeback victory.
Their pyre nearly was extinguished there.
GG.
The rite is done.
I've been betrayed by my imps. He did it to himself. Arumi was the one who requested that right. From the imps to the Isle of Kalamer. Winning with 2 HP. You seldom see it happen. But it can and will be done. At least on this occasion. Well played. Alright, let us turn off Tariqbot. Real quick. No more of that. Thank you. But let us know if there are any other songs or other requests you'd like to make for this next rite. In the meantime, though, I'll turn back on the in-game music. You haven't even seen my final form. How about that? Anor says, bring it on. Anything else we'd like for the next rite? Hard to top that one, I know. But we'll see if these two are up for the challenge. Taylor says the book. Okay. All nomads. Okay, only nomads for characters. Anything else, Phaler? It seems like Phaler has something in mind for this particular right. Book? Nomads. Is that it? Rumi is not pleased with this request. Okay, and then for masteries, one of them is on all right side, so basically your support nomad, and then the other two are all left side. This will be interesting. So that means that, remember, left side on nomads gives them the life leech, so we could see something similar to what we saw in the previous right, with some comeback victories here. Because, well, if someone is down to low Pyre life, they score a few times, then they could be right back in it. Great. Just not the pain part. Alright, let's do it then. So again, that is all nomads. One of the nomads is all right side. The other two nomads are all left side.
The Night Wings shall take on the essence. Welcome. Who shall conduct the
So it'll be interesting to see how these two pick the placement of those nomads. You put your support nomad first, you put your other, I don't know what you want to call left side nomad. It has the leech. It's usually the defensive stuff that is most characteristic on the left hand side. But if you're going all the way down, then you get the life leech as well, which I think may in many cases be the more notable component of being on the left side. But we're getting a speedy Snadra. Look out. Goal Bracer from Arumi means that'll be a more defensive Snadra to lead things off on Arumi's side. So offense versus defense, at least to lead things off here.
Headwind.
And that is the support character there. That'll be Headwind on Anor's side. Arumi also going offensively with Headwind here. Goes with Titan Tooth for stunning, which can be strong defensively or offensively. It's a little bit of an interesting choice because, of course, the Nomads do have Shoulder Smash, so it is perhaps a little bit redundant with that. Phaler taking note of that. I mean, Shoulder Smash doesn't trigger all the time. If your opponent is jumping into you, then it doesn't technically trigger. I mean, it's a little bit, I don't know if gimmicky is the right word, but most of the time it does trigger. So there are some very rare occasions in which having Titan Tooth might still provide some benefit. Like that. No Shoulder Smash, but Titan Tooth does trigger and leads to Rumi scoring. So you know what? At least on that occasion, it paid off. Here is Snadra. He makes it in. 20 damage plunge, and Arumi is off to a quick start here, but like we were saying, both of these people have access to some life leech. So this one is not over until the Pyre drops to 0. Quick throw there from Arumi for just 5 damage. Snadra with some good leaps. She gets banished. Headwind goes down as well for Anor. Headwind for Arumi. Sidesteps that cast. Hops over the other one and makes it in. Snadra versus Snadra. There's the backflip banishing we were talking about a little bit earlier. And there's the backflip for the win. Arumi with a quick one.
And what a crushing victory it was.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Maybe the Titan Tooth wasn't so bad after all. Nah, no worries.
Until the stars align.
Anything we'd like for the next one? In the meantime, I will reset us to our defaults. And Arumi was the one saying beforehand, oh no, all nomads. Phaler, how could you? Oh, Lag says, not sure I'll be able to join. In that case, why don't I have you two do some testing for me? And Lag has been doing some amazing test work behind the scenes, getting some inside information on all the quirks about what has it been thus far, Lag. It's been worms, it's been nomads. Was that the second one you did? So it's exiles. And the first pick is a worm. Vengeful Vow on the worm. And Seize Chance on the worm. Rumi's like, I'm gonna do some editing on the Pyre wiki. Do you mind if I take all the information that you've just given us in the Discord group? Yeah, it's been some really impressive stuff, for sure. Anything else on that, Lag, or is it just that specific worm we're planning around? Only that worm? Okay. So it's a worm with Vengeful Vow and Seize Chance, and that worm is in the first spot. Everything else, up to you.
The Night Wings shall confront the Essence. Welcome.
As for which worm they pick to use, now that'll be an interesting question. Perhaps a telling question. Arumi thinks he's getting the idea here. We'll see if... I mean, based on how Lag Machine prefaced this by saying, I'm doing this to have you guys do some of the testing for me, does seem as if there's perhaps some specific interaction that Lag is interested in observing. Combinations between Vengeful Vow and Seize Chance? And I know we're here is going with
Sir Gilman.
Gilman first. Lag says, I've tested it before. I want to see how other people make it work. Okay.
Sir Deluge.
So Vengeful Vow means that whenever the imps get banished, they will explode, and in the process, have the chance of banishing other people. And Seize Chance gives them 10 additional glory, or 10 additional damage when they score, if they have banished someone recently. So that is the synergy between those two things. Oh, Lag says I forgot about something. Can we reset? Does it involve that character that we just created? Because if it's about the second or third character, then we could still make it happen here. Also needs Avenging Aid. I don't recall as to whether they took that or not. Anor, do you remember if you took Avenging Aid on Gilman? Anor didn't take it? Alright. In that case, if you two are up for giving this a quick restart, let's restart? Okay. Let's give it another shot then. Yeah, Rumi had it, but Anor didn't.
The Night Wings versus
Okay.
the Essence.
So it's Vengeful Vow,
Welcome.
Seize Chance, and then
Who
also...
shall conduct the rites?
Yeah, thrown in the Avenging Aid, which is the first one on the right side, I believe. Oh, but just deciding between Stunning Claim or Heroic Stand.
Sir Gilman.
Yeah, so Honora going with Gilman. Whereas Arumi's going with Deluge.
Sir Deluge.
Read into that, however you may. Arumi says always happy to be a guinea pig. We'll see. We'll see how exactly this plays out then. Wanted to choose it anyway, but misclicked. Well, there you go. Ametha with the legendary Harp Talisman, which means that she will have extra 5 damage when plunging if she is flying, and then a 50% chance of coming back after doing that plunging. Sort of like a pseudo prayer beads, if you will. And then Volfred with the legendary Sap Talisman there, the Nutrition Stick. Now goes for a support headwind. And thinking about Typhoon Bottle, made it so that when everyone on Honora's side is banished, Rumi will not be able to sprint, throw, or use any other abilities. And then Stowaway, Quick Throwing Talisman. Last one for Arumi, and here we go. So we shall see how these new worms work out, based on what Lag was thinking we might be able to test here. So keep an eye out for them. Like we were saying, when they crash into someone, they will explode, banishing them in the process. And then, if they have banished someone recently, they will deal extra damage. And you can see if that effect is still active based on the swirls that you were just seeing around Deluge there. When those swirls are happening, it means they have the extra damage if they were to plunge, but that's actually Ametha who plunged there, and you saw she had the extra 5 damage, however, did not get the respawn. But doesn't matter either way. Arumi scores quickly thereafter, meaning that Ametha is back. And she plunges this time, again flying, so again 5 extra damage. Will she come back this time? This time she will. And Deluge has the extra damage at the moment for Rumi, so he's dangerous. Oh, but I think it expired right as he was about to make it in. It did just 15 damage rather than 25. Oh, Volfred. Aggressive plays here. Throw intercepted, but wow, that was a speedy Ametha. Zoomed in. It was out of stamina, so she couldn't fly in, and therefore only 20 rather than 25 damage, and definitely will not be coming back. Oh, and look at that, banishment. Increasing the amount of damage that Deluge had from 15 to 25.
Now to the flame.
Ametha. Gilman. He plunges. He had Seize Chance active. 25 damage there.
Once more like that, and we are finished here.
That means that Honora, yeah, is in a point now where one more score could do the trick unless Arumi has any rekindling, which he did. So now that we're on Arumi's second life bar, just about any score would do here for Honora, and here it is. GG.
The Night Wings prevail. 'Twas the will of the 8 scribes which kept their flame alive. The rite is complete.
Well played, you two. Lag, would you say we got the chance to see some of the stuff that you were looking to test?
Until the next rite.
I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe not. Was good? Okay. I suppose that shall suffice then. And Lag, I know you're saying you may not be able to play today. I mean, if you're willing and able, happy to get you in now. I know Arumi was saying a while ago he'd be happy to swap out if anyone else wanted to get in. So we could probably make the change now if you'd like. If it doesn't work for you, no biggie. No worries. In some ways, I suppose he is. Can't now? Okay, no worries, no worries. Yeah, open invitation if there's anyone hanging out in chat or in Discord who wants to get in on the action, who has not yet gotten a chance to play today. It's like I was saying, in particular today, I think we're going to be having a pretty short Rite Nite because my voice is still kind of recovering after I lost it for basically the whole of last week. So, if you are interested, then want to try to get you in as soon as we can, because otherwise, well, we might just run out of time. But perhaps later for Lag. We'll see how long I can hang on for. Alright, anything else we would like to see for this next right here? Okay, and seeing no such requests, why don't we just hop in, have these two take whatever they'd like to take.
The Night Wings shall confront.
And back to the book we go. Saw
Welcome.
these two face each other here when we were going with the all-nomad setup. See how things change this time around. Well, already looks like it's going to be different here. Honor going with what looks to be Ruki in the first spot with prayer beads.
Ruki.
Can be a very effective setup here because it is such a small arena. You can sprint basically straight into the pyre without even using up, well, I think you can make it just about all the way to the pyre with just one round of stamina with a cur. Rumi says this is probably going to be my last right for now. No worries, Rumi.
Bertrude.
And Arumi going back to one of his preferred exiles, Bertrude. Honor might be going Baja Men here. That's two curs. Hold on to your leashes, because she might be about to let the dogs out. Still away. Thinking about the talisman. Opts for the throwing damage. And yes, confirmed. Honor going 100% curves. Goes with the Typhoon bottle there, which means that it'll be when she has everyone banished. Arumi will not be able to sprint, throw, or use any other special abilities. And Arumi's going Titan Tooth on Messenger Imp for the stuns in the last spot, which is potentially a strong counter to what Honor's going with here. Oh no.
Glory first to the essence.
Oh no. Return of the Slytherin? It may be. It may be.
That's it.
Oh, and Honor nearly makes it in that time round, but Messenger's aura big enough to stop her. Bertrude? He goes down here.
The orb is taken.
Galbert, he gets blocked in Titan Tooth, so he's stunned. That will slow Honor down.
The pyre.
Oh, and she was in position, but just a little bit behind the Pyre, so couldn't intercept that one there.
The orb is up.
And that was the extra throwing damage we saw as well. And that throw is unblockable.
'Twas but a little splash.
Quick one, so only 10 damage, but nothing to do to stop it. Other than, of course, just get rid of Bertrude, but
Sublime.
now it's Rookie plunging for 20 here. And I believe he had prayer beads, he did. So he's coming back right here.
Good.
Mark him down. Stowaway was charging up a throw, but she goes down. Dalbert. Oh no, that's actually Messenger that swiped the orb there. Rookie intercepts. Oh, and Dalbert has plenty of time and space here. Throws this one in.
Flung with force.
Only had 15 damage, but does of course mean that now Anora's keeping all of her curs.
The orb.
Oh, and Bertrude
How utterly
just hops over the defenders. Dropping Anora down to 12 HP.
more than a lick of flame
Now we've
remains.
seen Anora make some pretty incredible comebacks already today, but she'd need another one here to pull this off.
Oh, poor old
Ooh,
Dalbert.
and Barker just a little bit short of the Pyre there. Rookie, can he stop Bertrude?
No.
This time he can. Oh, look at that. Bertrude takes out all the defenders except for one. That throw is unblockable. Does it have enough on it? It doesn't, but Arumi follows it up, gets the rebound, and plunges for the victory.
Their adversaries confidently thwarted.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Alright. Let's head on back to versus mode. And I know Arumi was saying that
Until
that was
the
likely to be his
stars
last
align.
fight. Oh, the pounce ability that Phaler said. Oh, I think... Yeah, so I think the reason why Phaler has said that typically the pounce ability is not great is because the recovery time on the Crones after a jump is quite long. So oftentimes it's not so much that you ran out of stamina and so you're stuck in place and you can't sprint for that reason. It's just that you jump, and even if you have your stamina, you still have to recover from after that jump, and in that time, the defender can just go in and take a different person and banish you, or you can run away with your Crone. No worries, thanks for stopping by, Arumi. Happy to have you. That does mean that we'll definitely want to get someone else in here to go against Anor. Yeah, so I think on a few occasions there, Rumi, you did just barely manage to get the jump up. Or I guess, did you take that? I didn't notice if you took the recover your stamina after jumping at someone ability or not. But oftentimes it's that people take that and then they just don't use it at all. They just don't jump into people at all. But then even if you did, there's that whole question of, can you recover in time to do anything with that stamina that you just got back? Most of the time, you can't. Yeah, because I think, you on a couple occasions there may have pulled off what oftentimes we do not see with those Crones. It's difficult to chain a couple of jumps together with them, or jump and then quickly sprint into the Pyre afterward because of that recovery time. Usually, there's enough time, that gives enough time for the defenders to respond and just get rid of the Crones before they can do anything. But so if there is anyone else hanging out in chat or in Discord who wants to hop in, we are definitely looking for someone to swap in because Arumi is taking a break now. So that means we have Anor on one side, who is playing on mouse keyboard, so we would need someone to be on controller to go against her. Anor, just to check in with you, are you good to stick around? Do you also need to take a break? How you feeling? Phaler will swap in. We can certainly get Phaler in. One more round? Okay. We'll give you enough time to go against Phaler here, I suppose. Let me send you a quick invite here, Phaler. Are you on Steam yet, Phaler? You may not be. At least at the moment, I'm not seeing you. A round or two? Okay. Yeah, to be brutally honest, I'm not sure how much longer I can last with my voice, so that might be just about as long as we're gonna go tonight. We'll see. There you are, Failure. Alright. Invite sent, and Failure, I assume you'll be the Fate? Yeah, maybe do one right and then do Liberation right. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Alright. There we go. I got you all set up, Failure, assuming you are, in fact, going to be the Fate. And if that is the case, then that would mean that this would be our last rite before the Liberation Rite, and therefore our last rite in which to give requests. So if there's anything in particular that you all want to see, now is your last chance to make it happen. Because, of course, we will not take any requests for the Liberation Rite. And Honor, I don't know if you've seen any Liberation Rites. Did you catch it last week? We did, in some ways, have a bit of a preview to it earlier today when we got the Never to Return. You did not. Okay, well, alright. Well, like I said, maybe a little bit of a preview to it, based on what we saw earlier with, I believe, what was your request. But this time you'll get the chance to participate in one, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's been a while since I did a Liberation. Usually I'm not the last one here.
Yeah. Nice. Get the chance to get both of you in there. Alright. Not seeing any requests, though, for this one. Like I said, this would be our last chance. Assuming that the next one is our Liberation Rite. This would be our last chance to get any requests in, so if you're dying to see anything this time around, this is your last chance to make it happen. But having given the last call, and perhaps sufficient time for people to respond to that last call, I will now commence. Oh, hold on. The Accuser song. Okay, gotcha. That is, what, the Path to Glory, I believe, right? Pretty sure that's it.
I mean, it says so on the tooltip, so I'm assuming
it does?
that's not lying to me.
Oh, yeah. I actually didn't even realize that was a thing. I never even noticed that. But there we go.
The Night Wings versus the Fate.
Alright. So I believe this will be the first match between these two, Honor and Failure.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And we have the song, but otherwise these two are just picking whatever they'd like to pick.
Kamatha.
And Honor's leading off with Pamitha with the legendary talisman. Saw Honor take that on at least one other occasion, so it does seem to be one of her preferred setups. And then Failure going with Dalbert first here on Pyre Vids, which it does suggest that we are likely to see perhaps his, well, it might even be his most common team nowadays, that being the 100% fake team. And Honor is thinking Volfred next. Primarily left side, so that includes Numbing Gust, meaning that if everyone is banished on her side, Failure will not be able to sprint, throw, or use any other abilities. And a little bit of Rekindling. And Failure, yep, taking Fate member 2 out of 3. This one being Almer, the quick throwing talisman. That means Dalbert will be the plunger, Almer will be the thrower. And then, if my prediction is correct, we will see Raji next as the key defender.
Headwind.
Nor going with Typhoon Bottle on Headwind there. Here is Raji with the Web Lanthorn, so if and when he banishes someone, he will bring back someone from his team.
Exiled.
And here we go. Honor versus Failure, and Failure off to the races early here with Dalbert. Every team is a good team in Failure's hands. That may be the case, but we shall see. Honor with Volfred here. Volfred goes down. Ooh, but the orb ends up in the sapling, making it tough for Failure to pick that one up. And Honor gets Pamitha back, takes out Almer. Now Pamitha has a lot of speed. Takes it all the way to the Pyre. Plunging for 20. Tying this one up at 80 apiece, but Pyre says, no, none of that. Scores for 20 with Dalbert, retaking the lead here. Honor with Pantha. Over to the Stowaway, back to Pantha, but she goes down. Raji versus the Stowaway. Raji's throw makes it in. Cuts it ever so slightly short, just 14 rather than the full 15 damage. The damage is still done. Pantha gives it up to... Oh, sorry, not the Stowaway. Headwind, I should have said. Dalbert makes it in again. He's got the speed. He's got the jets. Pantha sidesteps the cast. Gives it up to Headwind, but Headwind goes down. Ooh, and well-placed sapling. Put down just in time to block that one, but you can, in fact, hop into a sapling, pick up the orb with a curve, and make it into Pyre, as you saw there, as long as you are quick enough with those jumps. Taylor demonstrating it well there. Ametha, though, she gets blocked and banished.
Beyond all reason,
Dalbert makes it in once more, and this triggers the rekindling, bringing up Honor's second life bar. Puts down the sapling, and, ooh, the throw does in fact make it in, but Honor is down to 2 Pyre life, and this is familiar territory for her. She pulled off a miraculous comeback with 2 Pyre life before. Can she find a way to make it happen again? Ametha down, Headwind down, meaning just Volfred here. Oh, and Volfred runs into Raji. That means no defenders here for Honor, and Pyre again plunges for the win.
they overwhelmed their adversaries utterly. Thus end this night's proceedings.
And that means that now we will be on to the Liberation Rite, and I mean, this is Honor's second Rite Nite, and I was just asking her, she said she's not even seen the Liberation Rite yet, so yes, I think it's safe to say this will in fact be her first Liberation Rite, and participating in it as well, which is great to see. Yeah, I think the jitters are a combination of either streaming software, or some combination of streaming software and or Twitch. For example, last week we were having the jitters on Pyre, and then the following day I streamed The Witcher, and there were no jitters, and I changed, not sure I changed anything on the stream. So it's just really finicky like that, and sometimes the streaming software and or Twitch has an off day in which no matter what you do, it decides it wants to cause problems. But then other times, the next day, it'll be fine. What is awaiting Honor? Well, an early Liberation Rite, but a Liberation Rite no less. So, what we like to do is, for our last Rite of the night, we like to finish things off with a little bit of festivities. So, what does that mean? That means we're going to none other than the Fall of Solium. It means we're going to turn off the in-game music. We don't need this stuff. No. That's not important. Turn this off. None of it. I don't need it. Instead, we're going to go back to TariqBot, and we're going to, like I said, do something that maybe we got a little bit of a preview of before, but this time round, it's for real. So, let's see. TariqBot, please return. And please play us a song. If I could spell this song correctly. Oh, I misspelled it 2 ways. Hold on. Well done, Lids. Well done. Oh, hold on. I messed up the command. 1 second. And Pyre may be gonna clean up my mess. Hold on, I need to add one more song, Pyre. He's got it. Pyre's got me covered. Okay, there we go. Pyre's got it all set. So, Liberation Rite means Fall of Solium, never to return, no requests. Give us your best shot, and of course, sermon intro.
You are gathered at the fall of Solium. You are gathered to conduct this rite. Try not to let the pressure get to you. Night Wings, stand prepared. The Fate, stand prepared. The rite shall begin forthwith.
Yes, so that means that you are just taking your best team here. Give it your all. Finish things off in style. So yeah, take whatever you'd like. He's going a rookie with prayer beads to lead things off here. Baylor going with a quick throwing crone. And we saw Ruby do something similar to this previously. It is hard to stop when they are in throwing distance because those throws are unblockable and they are quite quick with that talisman. There's a lot of ground that Baylor needs to cover with that crone though. So that is the key, is can Anor banish Forfeit before she gets within range. Then go and Deluge with Prayer Beads. So we have a throwing scorer in Forfeit, and then what looks to be the plunging scorer in Sir Deluge here.
Sir Deluge.
Nor went Headwind second, and now lastly, thinking about Pamitha. Saw Nor use Pamitha a lot thus far, and primarily with the Triesta's Plume Legendary Harp Talisman. Though considering other options here, but settles for what she's done previously there. Last one for Phaler, looking like it'll be Raji for defensive imp with the Web Lanthorn, allowing him to bring someone back whenever he banishes one of Anor's characters with Raji. And here we go, our final rite of the night, the Liberation Rite between Anor and Phaler. Best of luck to you both.
The Fate are first to strike their adversary's flame. Audacious, aren't we? No, the orb's engulfed. Tis taken. Fear not the purifying flame. The orb. Such chaos. A braver than expected act from Sir Deluge. Now. Glorious. Now go. And it is done.
And it is done.
The fate prevails.
GG.
A rite conducted
Good game.
with aplomb. The ceremony is complete.
Well played. Well played, both of you. Yeah, full disclosure, Phaler is the I think it's pretty well established. Phaler is the best player in the Rite Club, so don't worry. We were kind of throwing you into the fire there when we threw Phaler against you.
Until the next rite.
He is the Solium Cup champion. And like we were saying, that will be the last rite of the night. Like I said, my voice is still rather sore. I had lost it basically all this past week and still only just starting to come back, so need to call it a little bit early tonight so that I, well, don't have my voice lost for the rest of this upcoming week as well. But thank you all, those of you who participated in the rights today, and those of you who participated in chat. Here, I will give you the boot here. Those of you who are still hanging out in the remote play, I can kick you out if that's helpful. There we go. And let me turn off / leave Discord real quick, but thank you all for stopping by. I'll catch you next week. That does mean that perhaps we throw on some quick music to have going in the background here. And just throw this on here and throw on this screen as well. So yeah, like I said, had to be a little bit of a shorter Rite Nite today, but thank you all for stopping by. And got the chance to have some new people participate in some Liberation Rites, which is always good to see, because oftentimes we have the same people are hanging around at the end of the Rite Nites and don't get too many opportunities to get new people the chance to try it out, so happy to get the chance to get some new people in on that. And other than that, we will be, of course, doing these Rite Nites every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. If you are interested in getting more involved, the best way to do that is to join the Rite Club Discord server, which is right there. That's the place where we're doing all this coordination and whatnot. Any other major announcements or general talking about Pyre strategies like we were talking about earlier with Lag, giving us the great insights on tons of in-depth things about how worms and I think it was nomads that was the second one, right, Lag? Worms and nomads work. Some really cool stuff that you would not have known just from, I mean, even hours of playing Pyre. Impressive stuff, to say the least. Other than that, I'm Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nites every Sunday, 3:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We are doing a tournament 2 weeks from now, if I have my dates correct. Yeah, 2 weeks from now at the usual Rite Nite start time. So that gives you a couple weeks to prep, practice up, get ready to go, and that will be a round robin in the first round, followed by elimination after that, and the winner will be crowned the Golothanian Cup champion. That'll be our second ever Rite Club, or at least under my time here, second Rite Club tournament, so be cool to see what goes down this time around. If you are interested in getting more information on that, then you can check out I believe it's the Rite Club channel in the Discord server, has both the trailer that we showed at the beginning of this stream and then also the sign-up sheet. Yeah, make sure that you actually do, in fact, sign up. If you're interested in signing up, do that right now, because we want to make sure that we have all the people who are actually participating signed up so that we can, set the bracket and set the round robin and all that stuff, and we need to know how many people there are so that we can set it properly, all that stuff. So do that now if you haven't already and you're planning on participating. So that will be 2 weeks from now is the start, and then it might actually end up going for 2 weeks depending on how long it takes us to get through all the matches. I believe that it took us 2 weeks to do it for our first tournament, if I'm not mistaken. I can probably sign up. Do it, man. Yeah, but other than that, on Fridays, I'm doing Witcher 3 streams, Witcher 3 Blind. Then on Saturdays, we are doing combos, or some combination of Path of Exile and or Hades. And for Hades, we are doing actually similar stuff to what we're doing in Pyre in terms of taking chat requests for everything from rooms to items to boons, all that stuff. And then on Sundays, of course, Rite Nite. Other than that, on YouTube, I will post the VODs for these Rite Nites. If you missed anything, you can check it out there. You can also check out old VODs if you want to see how the meta has evolved over the past year or so. Also posting VODs for Witcher 3 streams. Also doing some Gwent, the Witcher-themed card game videos. Just came out with an expansion this past week. I have one video on that, and as soon as my voice actually comes back, I'll have a new video out on that as well. I think that's just about it from me. If you haven't done so yet already, you can of course hit the follow button to get a notification when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I'll post there when I go live as well. Rumi's like, there's an interesting Twitch integration mod. Yeah, at the moment, I've been using basically the same things that we've been doing for Pyre Rite Nights, where it's just having chat use channel points to make various requests. Oh, you didn't do most of it. Well, no worries. Anyways, that's about it for me. So thank you all again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream.